Roblox is my favorite video game of all time. I mean, sure, at least 99% of all games on here are absolute garbage, but I mean, at least one of these has to be good, right? Right? Considering how I was born in the great year of 2008, I unfortunately played Roblox a little bit. I played a lot of the big games, stuff like Jailbreak, Meep City, Natural Disaster Survival, and a handful of simulators and tycoons as well. Basically, whatever was popular on the homepage is something some YouTuber played. I was and still am a weak-minded sheep. And considering the wide catalog of games on Roblox, there's a handful of horror titles I played as well. Horror is incredibly inconsistent. Doesn't matter if it's a movie, TV show, or video game. Done right, it can be the most impactful a piece of media could be, if it can genuinely terrify you. However, a majority of horror media ranges from fine to really bad. And what happens when toddlers try to make a horror game? Well, you just get dog shit. So for Halloween this year, I decided to do the unthinkable. I'm gonna play some Roblox horror games and rate them on a 5-star scale. Most of these will just be ones that I remember playing, but I'll throw in some of the more popular, newer ones in too. Will these be as good as I remember? Will these be tolerable? Will this mentally drain me? I don't know, I haven't played any of these yet. Well, let's get crack-a-lackin' with the first game, guys. I love my job. So here we are, my old Roblox account, Dr. Kid Gamer YT. I should change that. So I'm a doctor, a kid, and a gamer, and a YouTuber? God, I really shouldn't have been given internet access when I was 7. Oh boy, I can't wait to spend my 2 Robux. So first I decided to cover the Roblox camping series, and I remember this thing being massive. These 5 games spawned thousands of fans who would create games in a similar style, and it all started with camping created by Samson16. I loved this game back when it came out. I was in the prime demographic for it, a dumbass kid who's never experienced real fear before. But I remember discovering it through a bunch of silly Roblox YouTubers and being fascinated by it. So is it as brilliant as I remember? No, not really. When you're first thrown into the game, you enter this little lobby to hop on a truck to the campgrounds. These things are an absolute wasteland nowadays. I remember when these servers would get thousands of hundreds of people. I blame Gen Alpha. But eventually, your truck fills up to 12 players and you're taken to Specky Woods, a little forest in Brookwood, Alabama. It's the only place I could find on Google Maps, so I'm sorry, but this is my headcanon. The game gives you some time to explore the map. There are some pillars, a puddle, and a cave. God, this trip is going to suck. Camping trip gone wrong. A family of 5 went camping in the local campgrounds and were reported missing after not returning for a prolonged period of time. 4 of the family members were found and confirmed dead, but their son is still missing. The murderer, Zach Nolan, has been caught. His sentence is being decided. Cool. Night is approaching, perhaps the least ominous thing ever said in a video game. Sit back, relax, and tell stories by the campfire. Oh boy. One time, long ago, I ate 4 bagels. I ate a cat. Oh no, this is a horror game, but how was I supposed to know? Camping trip gone wrong. Maybe the jump scare could have actually worked if the monster was scary in any way at all. So I ran off into this cave and waited. Yeah, okay, this is something that really bugs me about this game, actually. Bro, like, 75% of this is just sitting around and waiting. It gets you to familiarize yourself with the campgrounds. I get it. It's there to build up the atmosphere. But most of the time, I'm just sitting there waiting for the next thing to happen. This wasn't needed. I guess you're supposed to talk to your campmates during these sections, but I don't want to talk to Fagor. Anyways, you wake up to find that the brown tent has collapsed. Why can't we just, like, put it back up? We then get to meet Park Ranger Daniel. Remember him, he'll be important later in the series. Or don't, I don't really give a shit. They think that a bear has been affecting the deer population in the campgrounds and set up bear traps. Yeah, sure, the monster that attacked us earlier definitely didn't do this. I completely forgot bear traps were in the game and I've never had a problem with them. Anyways, you decide to stay in the cave for the stormy night. But oh no, you forgot the picnic basket at the campsite. So you must send someone or assemble a team to return the picnic basket. In what world would you want to assemble a team to return the basket? Being in the rain takes damage for some reason. It's not like you'd evenly distribute the damage between players. Nah, that would just be a net loss on all fronts. You can take less damage if you use the umbrella item. You return the picnic basket and everyone has a splendid little sandwich. And everyone's tummy is satisfied until you find out that one of the sandwiches was poisoned. No! I'm a big fan of how it's completely random whether you die or not here. Great game design, guys. Then the cave collapses in on itself, so you break through the back wall, go down these tunnels, and have to do a flood escape or bear escape. The flood escape is a somewhat tolerable, albeit easy platforming challenge, but the bear escape is just a pain in the ass. I don't think you can actually do this without getting hit. It's also a maze which just adds to the annoyance. You escape out of the cave somehow, and you come back to camp. I don't know why I always like the third day of this game in particular. There's just this neat sense of fatigue. Not in a quality kind of way, but the trip has been exhausting right before the climax. Is that just me? Yes? Cool. I don't know what happened, but Roblox must have gotten rid of this blood texture, because the trail of blood leading to the bear trap is completely gone. That's lame. And the I'm Still Here is just nothing without it. Roblox was hit with a copyright strike or something a few years ago, so a lot of music here has been changed for the worse. They had this bubbly, happy Mario and Luigi music for the first games, but they took it out and replaced it with generic stock music. Fun. Anyways, third night comes, and probably the scariest part of the entire game happens. What the actual fuck was that? And then it's followed by quite possibly the least scary jump scare I've ever seen. Oh. Yeah, so one of the players gets kidnapped and you gotta find them before they die in the rain or something. And you return to the tent, wait some more, and then a mysterious black fog fills the forest. What does that mean and why should it be scary? Oh, well it hurts you, so I see the threat now. You climb these pillars and there he is! Ah! And then it starts walking towards you. Ah! Ah, damn it. I forgot to set my watch for daylight savings time. Alright, there we go.
You deserve this! You attacked us, poisoned us, and kidnapped one of us!
You don't understand. I was only trying to help. Ever since the incident occurred, I went insane and I couldn't let another murder take place in these woods. Every time I appeared, I was trying to save you from them.
Oh, that's bullshit. You killed Jerry on the first night. I don't care if it's self-defense. That's murder. Oh, what about when you kidnapped me? I wasn't even the murderer by the end. It was the other guy. Oh yeah, this game has a twist ending where it's revealed that one of your group members was actually trying to kill you. Generic as hell ending. Anyways, Camping 1 is fine, I guess. I don't think the story is great, obviously. There's a lot of time wasted just sitting around, and it's too reliant on luck at many points. It is neat how there's 3 different endings. If you put the lucky coin into the well on the second day, you get a little cutscene revealing that the monster was actually the son of the family of 5. Even if there's absolutely no way to know that until the later games. Not really a conclusive ending to the story either. But it's neat how all of these are kind of connected together. I'd probably give Camping 1 like a 2.5 out of 5. Obviously, if we were comparing this to games outside of Roblox, it would be a 5. Because the standards of the average Roblox gamer are so much higher than those of Red Dead Redemption and Persona 5. Wait a minute, if the monster is supposed to be the son, did the child canonically gut a fucking deer earlier? You know, I honestly see the appeal of camping a lot more now thanks to this game. It's not about being in nature, it's about being murdered. So I went to pick up my friend Jack and we trudged through the dangerous streets of Salt Lake City, Utah, and made it to our dangerous campsite in Murder Valley.
It was a long trip, but I finally made it to the campsite.
Yeah, sick.
After the roaring success from Camping 1 with raving reviews from critics and audiences, Samson16 hastily created Camping 2 on May 20th, 2019. Camping 2 takes place in Terra Park. We've moved up to Iowa for this one. We met up with Park Ranger Daniel for another exciting camping trip, and someone's already climbed up the walls. What me and my friend found while playing these again is that Camping 2 is by far the most broken game in the entire series. For some reason, you can always just jump up these walls with no issue, and as long as you don't fall off, you can get into plenty of areas you weren't supposed to. Like, this area is meant to be for the secret ending only. Why the fuck am I allowed here? This mirror is kind of dirty. Do you think Samson just learned what foreshadowing is? Camping 2 is far worse at trying to trick the player into thinking it's a cute little camping game. Like, something is definitely up here. The party splits up into 2 groups, one at the campgrounds and one at the cabin. At the cabin, Daniel leaves to go to the bathroom, and coincidentally, at the same time, the campgrounds gets the most easily anticipated jump scare of the entire series. Many moments that are just waiting, but
This isn't the most waiting. We've done nothing the entire time.
Oh, there he is.
I think...
Yeah, so there's some murderer, they escape into the cabin. Daniel comes back acting like we're all fucking idiots. And we woke up the next morning to do a little hike. And because of how easy it is to glitch in this game, you can glitch out of the cabin and do it earlier than everybody else. Honestly, the fact that Camping 2 is so glitchy might make it unironically the funnest game in the series. Night 2, it rains, gotta collect firewood for the... That's right, wood. You can get the secret ending here if you want to. Honestly, I think of all the secret endings in the entire series, this is by far my favorite, because it sets up the lore to perhaps one of the most insignificant parts of Camping 1. So this area is supposed to be the cave that collapsed in on itself in Camping 1, and we see the monster from Camping 1 climbing through it. And as we all remember from Camping, he appears in the cave for a 1-second jump scare. That is the reason for this ending's existence. Absolute cinema. You come back and Daniel leaves again for some reason, then bombs detonate across the campsite and you gotta avoid them. Ah! Oh man, this is really difficult, isn't it? Daniel comes back when you find a gun in the tent and you're given the option to shoot Daniel in the fucking head. No, what? No, Daniel did nothing wrong. If you shoot Daniel in the head, you're gonna get the bad ending because plot twist, the guy that has all the evidence pointed towards him being the killer wasn't the killer. Whoa! Turns out the killer was some guy named Zach Nolan all along. I wonder where I've heard that name before. Yeah, but if you don't kill Daniel, you get the good ending, and it is perhaps the hardest piece of fiction ever written. Do you know who I am?
Wait a minute. You're Zach Nolan. People say you're the reason Specky Woods was left haunted.
That's right. I'm the man who killed a family of 5 in Specky Woods, and now I'm coming to kill you.
Not the whole family.
Holy shit. No, the son! And then he kills him. I think the son has canonically killed more people than Zach Nolan has. And that's Camping 2. I think I liked this one because you could glitch around easily. It's fun to just not take this game seriously at all. The story is there, I guess, but because there's a lot less waiting around, and a lot less luck-based content, it's just a much tighter experience. And I'd personally consider it to be the best of the Camping series. This one is like a 3.
Okay, dude. He was out fast. Alright. Gotta turn my light off and stuff.
Hotel is a prequel to Camping that came out 2 months after Camping 2. This is another one that I don't have a lot to say about. It's at least one of the better entries in this Camping series. It has the least waiting around of any of them. It constantly throws new gameplay challenges your way, whether it be climbing up an elevator or a boss fight, and while I wouldn't call it scariest in the slightest, it at least doesn't rely on jump scares as much as the last 2. But for what purpose is this game a prequel? Well, this sees the group going to Glumo Hotel, which is the hotel the family of 5 was staying at before they went missing in Specky Woods. The hotel gets attacked by some monster, Limbo, and there's a secret ending where it's shown that Zach Nolan was chasing after them, even though we already knew that. This game is far from perfect or even good, really. The story still smells funny. It's like the least scary game in the series, but I don't know, it's silly, it's fun. This is another 3-star.
Okay, looks like... Yo, what the f***?
Sorry.
It's time to hit the hay. I thought you were asleep.
Sorry, I just got
Dude, ugh. Good night. Love you.
That's a cool ass stick.
Stick cam.
We should kiss.
I'm going to sleep.
I'm gonna kiss you when you sleep.
Alright, Mansion. Ugh, I don't like this one. I think its existence is cool. It gives the backstory to why Zach Nolan wanted to kill the family of 5 through this one little news bulletin. Local resident Emma Logan hit by car. Oh no, that's awful. That's like really fucked up, guys. Right when we see this, we get an invitation in the mail to go to Jack Logan's mansion for dinner. Ooh. So yeah, you go over and he tries to kill you. What did I expect? Sadly, this is the weakest game in the series. First of all, the music wasn't just changed, there's just straight up no music here. A lot of the platforming challenges are fairly unremarkable or really easy to cheese, and it is also by far the shortest one. There's not even a secret ending or anything, there's nothing. Its only purpose is to establish backstory, which is neat, but as a game it kind of sucks. I'm giving this a 1.5 star.
Tell me a ghost story.
One
Something
time long
spooky.
ago, a murderer came into this forest and killed like 4 people.
Whoa.
And then he left.
Oh, that's terrifying. I'm terrified. Well, what color was his skin?
He was black.
Oh no.
Camping 3 came out 1.5 years after Mansion, and considering the insane wait time compared to other games, it didn't perform too well. And I can kind of see why. This game does look really nice, but the story literally is, there's a new monster, and kind of stalling around for a while until an ending, of which there is a grand total of 1, where they give Zach Nolan, who didn't die apparently, a redemption arc. So that means that this took place after the bad ending of Camping 2, right? But Daniel is here? But wait a minute, they can't just give a serial killer a redemption arc. You can't just do that, what? And if this does take place after Camping 2's good ending, then Zach sacrificing himself to save us has absolutely no impact. Why does it matter that he died trying to save us from falling off the cliff if he can't die, apparently? You get to cannibalize one of your friends in this one. Probably the greatest moment of the entire series. Camping 3 is like a 2.5. The story is ass, but it's still glitchy and kind of fun. There's some neat gimmicks. But all in all, I thought it was pretty underwhelming.
Oh boy, I sure could go for a snack right now. Where's the zipper? Jack? Where did you go? Oh my God! Oh. I'm really hungry.
Thanks to the overwhelming popularity of the camping series, there came many imitators. The Roblox story game genre became, and it's still kind of a thing here. High School was one of the first games I remember coming out after camping. It's really bad. Why did they give this game a PvP mode? Ah yes, exactly what High School needed. Combat. I also appreciate how the obby here is literally impossible. Great job. So I guess this is supposed to take place after camping? With Mike here picking us up from our camping trip. We then go to high school, then the lights go out and there's a monster now, I guess. Great build-up, guys. You then have to find a key in the gym, which sometimes just doesn't fucking spawn in. Wonderful. The rest of the game is your typical horror affair. You know, escaping fog, finding keys, taking naps. Things that everyone does while getting chased by a monster. This game isn't really good. At the end of the first part, it is revealed that the monster was Mike the whole time. Oh no, not the beloved character, Mike! You then get trapped in Mike's basement, I guess? And I guess this is the only part of the game I liked. The out-of-tune granny music is kind of eerie. That's it. You then get chased through the sewer system and have to solve a code and find the keys to progress through the gate. It's honestly not a bad idea to have the monster constantly chasing you around here. Definitely adds a lot of tension. Unfortunately, the monster in this game isn't scary in the slightest. The only fear I experienced in the game was the fear that I'd have to start over and play through the whole thing again. But at the end, after taking another nap for some ungodly reason, you go behind this waterfall only to see a horde of cute little babies. Oh, look at these little guys. They're just chilling around. Anyways, I'm glad there was finally a game to truly capture the high school experience. Everyone talks about puberty, relationships, and popularity, when I was more worried about the monster chasing us the whole time. This game is like a 1-star. It's not very good.
Guys, I was searching for Jack and I found some blood on the ground.
Oh my god, babe, that is totally nuts.
Overnight is another one. However, I remember this one being named Sleepover. I guess they got that cease and desist I sent them. You go to the famous child's house, David, for an epic sleepover. You dance, you party, there's an evil monster, woo! Honestly, the only thing worth noting about this one is the obligatory random person dies scene. That is for some reason in every camping bootleg ever. This time it turns out the pizza they ordered was peanut butter pizza. And one of the people there was allergic to peanuts, oh no! Now obviously to most people this may seem completely absurd, but as someone with many allergies, you never know when some genius will for some reason add an ingredient like this into the recipe. This is actually extremely accurate. It's never happened to me before, but it could, and that's why it's scary. Anyways, 1 star.
Stop.
Airplane. This was another pretty big one. So much so that it managed to get 3 sequels. I'm not playing those. I have no interest in them. I think that the idea of a monster on a plane is at the very least interesting. I mean, come on, that would be fucking terrifying. Well, I guess a monster anywhere would be scary. I want a camping game that takes place in the DMV. This one is hella generic, though. You go on an airplane and there is stuff, I guess. Honestly, I kind of tuned out of this one. I'm giving this a star.
911, what's your emergency?
I'm being chased by this serial killer. My location?
Break-In. I remember this one being significantly more popular than camping was for a short period of time. This game revitalized the story game genre in a lot of ways. I don't know if this is going to be controversial among the Roblox community, but no, I desperately prefer camping in almost every way to this one. I wanted to like this one. I think it's better in theory, but in execution, it feels like the most generic Roblox game ever. I've had whole grain bread more flavorful than this. Camping isn't great by any means, but it tried. Camping attempted to set up a story and an atmosphere, and I feel like it could actually be remade into something good. I mean, there's some very heavy topics at play in these games. Families murdered, redemption, your parents being slaughtered. Like, that's the kind of thing that's actually on par with a lot of horror movies. Good horror movies at that. Break-In is a game where the purge happens and the antagonist is a guy named Scary Larry. Oh yeah, this is definitely peak. I feel like Break-In was more popular for its gameplay, not its story, but I'm here to say no. The gameplay is absolutely miserable, worse than camping easily. Almost nothing happens. You occasionally get attacked by these purge men, and you gotta kill them, and every attack is exactly the same. There is so much wasted time that you're supposed to spend doing side quests, but the side quests in this game are incredibly tedious and soul draining. Just because there's multiple endings doesn't mean anything if I have no reason to get them. Oh yeah, I forgot about my favorite part about this game, the Easter ending. During my playthrough, our group was asked if we wanted to get the Easter ending or the normal ending. The normal ending actually concludes the story with you fighting off Scary Larry. The Easter ending has you fighting some egg. This is completely unrelated to the rest of the game. Why would you give us this option? It's completely inconclusive. Oh yeah, the music and tone in this game, typical happy, fun Roblox music. This is the least scary game I've ever played, which is surprising considering how it's the only game with Scary Larry. I'm sorry, but while other games on this list weren't scary, I'd still categorize them as horror games. I'd categorize this as a Roblox game made to harvest the money from children's wallets. This is what a half-star looks like.
Okay, so I was like chasing this guy and he like ran and dude, I have like no idea where he is, but like I don't think anybody's gonna notice all the blood that I spilled. I covered it up on my foot. No one ever notices blood. That's what they tell you in psychology, which is my major. What can I say? I'm gonna go find him. Whoa! Come out, wherever you are. That's a plant. Oh. There he is.
God, I have had enough of these shitty camping ripoffs. If only there were other games on Roblox. Sigh. 3008 is a game based on SCP-3008. SCPs are a pretty popular horror concept around the internet, with plenty of games based around them. Kind of like liminal spaces in the backrooms, even if there are many different perspectives on how those two differentiate from each other. The basic idea of 3008 is being trapped in an infinite IKEA, and having to build a shelter before night in order to protect yourself from the employees. There's also a GameCube, but I don't know if I need to include that in the plot synopsis. This one is actually pretty fun, I gotta say, especially with friends. This works great as a decent survival horror game. Most of the horror kind of comes from the idea of being trapped in an infinite space like this, not really the employees. I love that silly internet horror garbage, I eat it up. And the game actually gives you some pretty cool tools for survival. And if you have a private server with friends, you can exploit it through server commands and modding. So if you get bored of surviving, you could create bigger problems for yourself. Again, it's not really scary, but none of these are. This is the closest we're getting to a game creeping me out in any way. So I'm giving it points based off of that. This is a solid 3.5, it's alright.
It's just balloons, don't worry.
These tanks were not meant for moving. Yay!
Man, a lot of these games aren't very good. For Roblox, they're fine, but has anyone actually tried to make a cool idea they had for a game here? Is there more than just tycoons and simulators? Maybe there's... Holy shit, this is a good game. Not just for Roblox, this is a good game compared to other good games. Like, it would probably be closer to a 4-star on its own, but for a Roblox game, 5 stars, f***ing easily. Okay, this game is really cool. You go to this spooky hotel with a seemingly never-ending set of doors. You travel through each room, sometimes you just walk on through to the next door, sometimes you have to find a key to open the next door, and sometimes this. This is Rush. He's going to vote Democrat this election. Rush is an entity indicated by flashing lights and his distinct sound. And the only way you're going to avoid him is by hiding in a locker. Or if you're just in an area outside of his path, but most of the time you're just gonna be hiding in a locker. And this is where Doors starts to get interesting. Screech, a monster that will appear behind you in dark rooms, and the only way to get rid of him is to listen to his psst sound and then look at him. Ambush, this green motherfucker who is similar to Rush but can rebound and attack multiple times. He is also the definition of startling. Eyes, don't look at them. It's not that hard. Seek will occasionally pop up and give you a little chase sequence. These are incredibly fun. You gotta follow the guiding light here because the game will try to trick you into going into the wrong direction. My only major complaint is that if you lag at all during this segment, Seek is very likely to get you, which isn't fun. But I don't know what you could really do about that. Doesn't make it any less annoying though. Halt will also occasionally appear. This time you gotta play a game of going back and forth when he appears in front of you and behind you. Similar problem with Halt here, lagging at all pretty much guarantees getting hit, but it's cool nonetheless. Dupe is an interesting one. Sometimes you get a room with multiple doors and multiple numbers, so you gotta keep track of what was the last door you went through. Because picking the wrong one, you'll get duped and take some damage. There are ways to find out which door is which though if you aren't keeping track. Dupe will always growl at doors that are incorrect, so using the process of elimination that way can help you defeat him. If you can't tell, sound is very important to the structure of the game. I could not play this game on mute, I would die very quickly. Which I gotta say, the sound design and music are absolutely excellent. All the ambient noises are amazing. They even go above and beyond at some points. The rain is fucking genius. At first, it just sounds like normal rain, but the more you play the game, the more you realize that it kind of sounds like Rush. And I love that. This game isn't that scary if you're looking. It's mostly just jump scares without that much substance, but the mind games aspect here is top notch. And dude, that soundtrack, it doesn't play most of the time, but when it wants to hit, oh my god, it never fails to give me the biggest goosebumps of my life. The game also looks absolutely incredible for a Roblox game, especially if you're able to get it at max settings. It can look absolutely gorgeous. All of the monster designs are pretty good as well. They reach a very nice balance between being scary and a good marketable plushie. Perhaps my favorite would have to be Figure. That's a lie, but I needed a transition to talk about him. Figure is very prominent throughout the game. He's kind of the closest you get to a main antagonist, if you even want to call him that. I don't know. But he makes appearances at door 50 and 100 on floor 1, and whenever he feels like it in floor 2. He's cool, and I like him. His gimmick is that he can't see you, but he can hear you, which changes up the gameplay nicely. There's a variety of items for you to pick up along the way, flashlights, lockpicks, you know, basic stuff, but also the crucifix, which will kill any entity. Kind of. Oh, the skeleton key. This thing is rad. You can use it to open this door in the medical room and take drugs that will autofill your health. Or you could use it to enter the secret edition of The Rooms, a 1,000 door endurance test where the gameplay is incredibly simple and basic, but one wrong move will send you all the way back to the beginning. This would be kind of tedious as a main part of the game, but as a side mode, this is really cool. I actually bothered to sit through the whole thing and obtain the A1000 achievement, so that's pretty cool. I'm never doing that again, by the way. 2 hours of my life I'm never getting back. But hey, in addition to The Rooms, the Doors creators accidentally made the same game 4 times. We got The Back Door, a prequel to the first 100 doors, I guess. It's a short little 50-door speed run trying to get to these timers before the time runs out. Floor 2 is absolutely incredible. There are so many new and creative ideas on display here. It is the most hype part of the Doors experience. It's a magnum opus. Unfortunately, I do feel like it highlights some of my problems with the game. Floor 2 takes a long time, almost twice as long as Floor 1, and considering how the game is kind of all about trial and error, it can be really frustrating to get all the way to the end just to die without any warning. I feel like the rooms are kind of different because you don't have to do that. Plus, it's really easy. If you know how to do the first 120 doors, you know how to do the rest. If you mess up there, it's entirely your fault. Floor 2 can feel really tedious in that way, and it's a shame because I'd easily call it the best part of the game otherwise. I just feel like it's a little too long. Maybe if they offered a halfway checkpoint, it would be more tolerable. Especially considering how much of an undertaking door 50 is. Jesus Christ. All in all though, Doors is fucking sweet. This is a genuinely really fun game, and while it definitely has its fair share of problems, the incredible effort on display here and infinite replay value from modifiers makes this easily the best game on Roblox. Not a high bar to cross, I know, but this game is actually incredible, and it absolutely deserves the attention it gets.
Whoa!
Wow, I have
No! No!
All right, let's see who you really are behind that mask. Oh.
Jack!
Dude, that light is really bright.
I'm immortal. I did a deal with the devil.
Oh.
You want to go, like, get lunch or something?
Yeah, totally. What's open?
I think Chick-fil-A is.
Sick.
Oh, wait, it's Sunday.
Oh.
No, wait, it's Halloween.
Let's rob it.
It's Halloween, it's not.
I don't think that's how it works.
They're closed on Halloween.
It's Thursday, dude. Halloween's on Thursday because that's today. Let's go.
I mean, you kind of bled a lot.
Shut up. This is a psychopath's walk.
So what's my conclusion when it comes to all of these scary Roblox horror games? These games rely too much on jump scares and cheap gimmicks to leave any impact, especially if you are trying to imitate another series. I think everyone forgot what made the camping games special. Like, yeah, they're not good by any means, but they actually tried to tell a story with heavy themes and subject matter. Most of the games that follow the same camping formula are just a scary monster without any backstory or substance. This is why Break-In ended up being the worst in my opinion. It is terrible at establishing any form of tension, fear, or has any interest at showing the impacts the actions by the antagonist have. I can give praise to the monster designs in other games, but here, hell no. Oh yeah, and we also covered 3008 and Doors, both of which are alright. Again, I wouldn't consider Doors a scary game, but it's incredibly well designed. While Doors does rely on jump scares, it's able to build up tension nicely with its sound design. So, in conclusion, stop trying to be scary and just try to make a good game. You're never gonna be scary ever, just give up.
Yeah, why'd you say we could get burgers?
Well, you know, I didn't know that my card would decline. I mean, it's really inconvenient. I thought I had more in my savings, but I forgot I spent it all on Robux.
Do you have any hobbies? Cool. I think I might go kill somebody. I see like a guy over there. He's like really hot.
Oh, okay. You can.
Way hotter than you.
Well, that kind of hurts, but hey.